Back again with 40k battle report. So playing a Maelstrom of War mission today, just one of the regular missions as we're closing out 7th edition, ready to go to 8th. We're going to try and see out the games accordingly, try to have a big one, go out with a big splash at the end, but at the moment we're just going to use some things that we might not get to use ever again. So it's about using favourite formations and just getting a last hurrah before 8th comes in. So the mission is Contact Lost, so you get to pull one objective card at the start of your turn, and then it's you have to claim the objectives to generate the orders. So it's a pretty difficult mission out of in the scheme of the missions. It's very hard to get going if you start taking casualties, but it's a good one. So we're playing Vanguard Strike as well, so it's corner to corner. We haven't decided corners yet, but we'll come to that, and we'll have a look at where the objectives are. So we've got one here, another one in this tile, we've got two, well, one directly in the centre just about, another one over there next to the pipes, another one here in this tile, and just on the other side of this ammunition stockpile we've got one in all that cover. So there's quite a bit of cover. We are using this brand new terrain from Games Workshop. Really nice bit of kit this. Right, 2,000 points of Craftworld Eldar, so this is clearly Ulthwe. We've got the main man himself leading it. Eldrad, he's the warlord, and he's rolled on telepathy. We've got a Craftworld war host, and it's using the Guardian battle host as the main core. So it's 3 units of Guardians, 2 of them have dedicated wave serpents with everything that you see. So we've got the Bright Lancers and the underslung shuriken cannons. Both have hollow fields. Inside, the Guardians have a Bright Lance each, and there's going to be a Guardian unit on foot. They have a missile launcher. We've got Volsrath artillery battery, 3 of those, and we've got 2 Warwalkers with the scatter lasers on, and 2 Vipers with both have the double shuriken cannons on them. And then leading the warhost, there's a Farseer, mastery level 3, and he's got the Spirit Stones of an Athlan, so he can pretty much manipulate the psychic dice as he wants. And he's rolled off Runes of Fate. He's got some good ones as well. And then we've got another, well, this is an auxiliary formation within the warhost. This is the Aspect Host, and it's going to give these 3 units weapon skill 5, so they're going to be hitting a little bit easier. I've got the Banshees, seen there with the Executioner Blade, just 5 Die Avengers this time. Striking Scorpions with the Exarch with the Scorpion's Claw, and then we've got the Avatar of Cain, so he's got a really good bubble of influence. Anyone within 12 gets Rage and Fury's Charge and Fearless, so he's pretty good when you've got lots of Guardians. And then of course the big man, Wraith Knight, he's got the Sun Cannon, and he's got double scatter lasers on his shoulders. So Eldrad, for his Warlord trait, he can infiltrate D3 units, and we've got the full 3. So we're going to see how that comes about in deployment.
Alright, so Guilliman continues his crusade, but he's not here today. He's directing this one from afar. We've got 2,000 points of Ultramarines here. We have a combined arms detachment with 3 squads, as you can see there, equipped as you see them. And rhinos, of course. One's got the extra armour plating. I've got a couple of grabs in one of them. This one here has got a combi grab and the grab. I've got a flamer, got a sergeant with a power sword. It's just a basic squad with boulders. And we've got a ironclad dreadnought, hunter killer missiles and assault launchers in the drop pod. We have a 5-man Terminator unit, missile launcher, and a chaplain, Terminator armour. He's leading the force. We have the Skyhammer Annihilation Squad. Annihilation Force, it's called, yeah. So we've got 2 assault units there, and 2 flamers in each. Veteran Sergeant has got a power sword, got metal bombs, and we've got 2 devastated squads and 5-man combat squads, 2 multi-melters in that one, 2 combi grav cannons in this one, and this one ditto. And they're in drop pods. They've got the locator beacon, and they've got Deathwind Havoc launchers.
Okay, so Skyhammer Annihilation Force, scary stuff. Right, Ultramarines, they have the benefit of deploying first, so they're in this corner, and it's just rhinos on display, so all units have combat squadded. 2 rhinos here, one already on the objective, and the combat squad's gotten out, just on that pipe there. There's another one, same situation there. These are taking this objective, and the rhino with 5 men on board is ready to go forward. So the special weapons seem to be on that side, on the left hand side. Here I think it's just the plain bolt guns, but it's looking very sort of tame with the rhinos and bolt guns, a few grav guns here and there, but it's the drop pods and the Terminators that are the worry. Everything else is in reserve. The Skyhammer Annihilation will come down on turn 1, and so will an ironclad dreadnought, and the Terminators will deep strike in too. So with this in mind, the Eldar being able to gaze into the future, use our prescience to good effect. They've cast a wide net, so everything that we've done, even though we could scout 3 extra units, we've chosen not to do any of that. Eldrad's given out the order to just to fan out, create as much of a denial area as possible, so we're going to have to put out some sacrificial units to try and make it through the Skyhammer. So we've got Wave Serpent with Guardians inside, and then as you see, just going down the line here, a bit of everybody just trying to contribute to make to cast the net wide. Artillery's had to go to the front because it doesn't look like it's going to mean much when everyone deep strikes under your nose. Scorpions, they're just deployed, they're not infiltrating. Avatar trying to hide. Dire Avengers going out into the no man's land, and then we've got the Wraith Knight right at the back in the corner. And Eldrad and the other Farseer are in this Wave Serpent, and then 2 Vipers at the back. So it's time to try and steal the initiative. It's going to be pretty important to do that, because if we can get some psychic powers going before this drop pod attack arrives, that'll give them some more survivability. So if there's ever a time, Eldrad, gaze into the future and give us a 6. It's a 2. Okay, so Ultramarines go first. Drop pods coming on down. Ultramarines turn 1, and they all come in a big way. No reserve rules needed. The Ironclad Dreadnought, he just automatically comes in because he's in a drop pod, and the Skyhammer comes down in turn 1, but doesn't count towards your drop pod allocation in reserve, so everything comes in on turn 1 in massive force. Just a big blue line there ready to take it to the Eldar, and then the Rhinos move up in support. So the deep striking assault squad couldn't get any better for these guys. He's deep struck and scattered 5 inches towards the Eldar, and they're right on target. The other squad, not so good. They're scattered by 11 inches, so they're not going to be contributing. That was a big scatter for them. They were a big danger because they can assault, and he's got a melter bomb. But we dodged 1 bullet, but there's plenty more blue bullets coming our way here. And in the backfield for the Ultramarines, just these combat squads keeping on these objectives, doing the role of a tactical to perfection. Who else but the Ultramarines? Devastator Doctrine has been called this turn as well, so these Devastators in all the drop pods over here are going to get a re-roll. It's going to be nasty. This Rhino pulls forward onto this objective and pops smoke. A wise thing to do. So over here, this is what we've got. We've got the Ironclad coming out right in front of all of this Eldar machinery. We've got Combat Squad with the double multi-melters, looking at these Vipers, I think. We've got the Grav Cannon Ultramarines here, right in front of the artillery. More Grav Cannon Devastators here, more multi-melter ones here, and then of course we've got that assault squad right on the doorstep as well. So these drop pods do have Deathwind launchers as well, so there's going to be a hell of a lot coming in, and it's all going to be re-rollable for the Devastator squads. And if you're not familiar with the Skyhammer Annihilation Force, what it allows you to do is assault on the turn that you deep strike in for assault squads, and Devastators have Relentless, so they're going to come out of that drop pod and fire with no penalty whatsoever, so it's really savage. They do come with extra rules on top of that, but we'll just cover that as we come, but those are the big 2 rules. So the Ultramarines are going to open up with the assault squad first. So there's 2 flamers going to put the templates on. So you've got to try and get as many as you can. So this guy's only going to get 2. This guy's going to get 1, and he's going to get a Scorpion as well. Right, so the Dire Avengers already under pressure. It's not too bad. The flamers and ball pistols get 4 wounds on the Dire Avengers and fail to wound this Scorpion. So I've got 4 wounds on the Dire Avengers. Got to save after that firepower. And we'll actually get 3 of them, so 1 of them only goes down, so that's pretty disappointing from the assault squad. Alright, so this Ironclad fires at the Warwalkers. It fires at Stormbolter first and knocks out a Warwalker. Just unbelievable, double 6, and couldn't save on the invulnerable. Now it's the Melter Gun, and he's out of range for double dice, but he misses anyway. Is he going to fire his Hunter Killers?
Yeah.
Right, so he's got 2 Hunter Killers at this Warwalker. He gets them both, and 2 to glance. Both penetrate, have to save on invulnerable 5s. Gets 1, 1 goes through, so what's the damage? It's open top. 5 goes to 6, it's immobilised, so we're not destroyed. Right, the Death Storm drop pod fires in now. It gets a hit right there, gets 2 Scorpions under the blast, and wounds, save on 3s. Save them both, and it did actually clip an artillery piece, but wasn't good enough to wound, so the Scorpions survived that blast. Right, this damaged Warwalker's coming under more damage. Another Deathwind drop pod fires here, and gets its wound rolls a 6 to damage it, so it's a penetrating hit. We've got that invulnerable save of 5, or we're dead, because we've only got 1 hull point left. And we are dead, so it's first blood to the Ultramarines and the Warwalkers, and their devastating firepower is just snatched out of the battle. Alright, so now the Grav Cannons have spoke up, and this is the damage. Just almost a total wipeout, and the artillery chose to take that out, so they didn't reach over and start taking out the backfield Ultramarine scoring units. Just paste this unit. There's only 1 battery left, and then the Scorpions come under some heavy fire as well. From bolt guns, grav cannons. There's Exarch left. Pass some lookout sirs. He's on his last wound, and he's going to have to take a morale check on 3d6, lest he be pinned, so he'll be taken out of the fight. So really brutal stuff going on from the grav cannons. Bit weird how they weren't fired at the Wraith Knight, but
I thought it was only an inch range, the grav cannon.
yeah, he just made a mistake. Thought he was out of range, but he wasn't. But still, damage is significant, and it still hasn't stopped. So we've got two multi-melter guns here at the Vipers, and one is already hit and penetrated. So we have elected to jinx. We're going to save on a 4, and we do save. And then we've got the second melter gun. Hits. What's the damage? That is 10 more 6s. So save on a 4. No, that goes through. It's open top, so you're going to get a +3 to this result. Goes to 5, so that's a weapon destroyed. So 1, 2, 3. It's the one on the bottom. It's the one on the bottom. So that is the best of the result, because that's a turret and that's not. So down one cannon, and the whole squadron is jinking. Alright, bolt guns from the squad open up at the Viper, but no damage. So still survives on his last hull point, and his squad mate and himself are both jinking. So snap firing for them. More multi-melter shots coming in from over here at, surprisingly, the Exarch. He really wants to take him out because he's got the Scorpion Claw. Does not want to take any damage in combat. So two hits, 2 wounds. We're going to have to save on 6s because we've got stealth. And I think we just may go to ground anyway, save us dying. So saving on 5s. Oh, he makes 1, but is killed from the other melter blast. A warm wind washes over his skull. Alright, so that's the end of the shooting phase. Devastating stuff. A lot of the stuff that I didn't expect the Ultramarines to shoot at, they shot at. So we've lost a lot of manpower. We're fully expecting to possibly lose the night, but they opted just to take something else. So I don't know if that's going to work out well, because we're relying on these sort of counter-attacking units like the Scorpions to try and get in there and slap them around, but the Ultramarines have saw that coming. So it's up to what the Knight can do, see if he'll pay for not selecting that as a target. But anyway, that's the shooting phase over. The assault unit is going to charge the Dire Avengers, so we're going to select to use our better ballistic skill for our Overwatch. We'll be overwatching on 5s, and I might as well do that on camera, so that's pretty good. 4 hits. So let's see if we can get some Blade Storm. 4s. 2 wounds, no Blade Storm, so they've got to save on 3s. So 1 goes down. Alright, the last one in the Overwatch, but they've jumped in, because you can use jump pack in both phases. So the Hammer Rats have come through. There's 3 wounds, so that's pretty devastating. Save on 4s. Oh, look at that. Saved them all. We fully expected to die on that Hammer Rat. Right, we'll continue the blue on blue action. And the Sergeant, he kills only 1 with his power sword, so just cuts him down with no mercy. And the Dire Avengers don't actually do any wounds back, but we've got 2 to save. The rest of the squad have used their chainswords. Do they hit and damage? No, they don't. So save those. The Dire Avengers are doing absolutely amazing for saves. And we do not take a morale check because the Avatar is within 12, so he gives them fearless. So we're going to hang in that combat even if the Ultramarines did win. Right, so that's the end of the Ultramarines turn. We did do the pinning test for these as well, and actually passed on 3d6, so they've done well. And they passed the morale as well. So Ultramarines, pretty damaging turn there. They've taken out the massive first line of the Eldar there and scored 3 points in the process. Got 2 objectives. Got objective 6, which is in the backfield over there, and objective 2, which again is being held by the Tacticals. And they've got first blood, so 3 points for the Ultramarines, and they've got all of the objectives. It's only going to get better from here for them, because this is the mission where you can only generate objectives if you're on them. So taking out this mid ground is actually probably for the best, because I think they might be contesting that objective there. So Eldar only going to pull 1 for the first turn. So Ultramarines, Tactics go hand in hand. Okay, we're moving into Eldar turn 1, and the Eldar move forward. So the Banshees and the Avatar setting out to take these Ultramarines to task. So I think because the Banshees got a special rule where you don't suffer any overwatch, I think they're going to attack the Grav Cannon squad and probably wreck those. The Avatar is probably going to try and save these Dire Avengers as well. We've got the Guardians up here, they're just going to use their missile launcher at something. And Eldrad and all the Guardians are out and about, out of the Wave Serpents. So there they are. We've already done the Psychic Phase as well. Eldrad is, of course, he's cast Invisibility on himself and his unit, so they're going to be hard to hit. And we'll try to do Psychic Shriek with the benefit of Terrify on the unit inside that Void Shield, but it didn't come off very well, so no damage there. But this Farseer, he did Fleshbane, not Fleshbane, it's called Executioner on this Devastator squad here and killed 2 of them with a multitude of Fleshbane hits, so 2 Devastators dead there. And also played Guide on the Wraith Knight, so all the usual tricks there, Invisibility and Guide on a Wraith Knight, just like clockwork. Over here we've got more Guardians. They jumped out of the Wave Serpent, and the Wave Serpent moves around the back of this Ironclad Dreadnought, so we cannot allow him to stomp through the lines here, so we're going to try and shoot him in the back because he's got so close. Right, because it's extreme importance, we're going to do this on camera. We're going to have the Wave Serpent firing to the back of the Ironclad. So Bright Lance first. He's missed. Twin Linked. He's hit. Alright, wounds on a 2. There's a penetrating hit. There's no cover save there. Damage is a 3 underneath that cannon. So he's going to be snap firing. Actually, no, it goes to 4, so he's going to be stuck still. You haven't given him extra armor, have you?
Yeah, he's got extra armor.
He's got extra armor, right, so he's still going to be on the move. That's crucial, but he's got a hull point. And we'll do the shooting cannon now. Okay, that's 2 hits. And it's only strength 6, so no damage. We're going to have to unleash the Serpent Shield. We only went 6, so we can fire all weapons. Right, so we're going to fire the Serpent Shield. How many shots are we getting? 5. We're going to have to make them count. It's only strength 6. Right, all hit. It's good news. 4s to glance. Just need 2 4s. And we get it. So he's penetrated. It's got no AP value. So he's just going to stand there and take it in the back, and he's now wrecked. Okay, the Eldar have done some more firing after the success of the Ironclad. So we fired the artillery piece at the jump packers, no damage. We fired the missile launcher at the jump packers, no damage, missed. And then we've done a battle focus run backwards. And then the Knight, he fires his scatter lasers towards the jump packs over there, but no damage. They're on really good armour there. I don't know if that's the special squad and the special Ultramarines unit that's been rumoured.
Yeah, look
with these super soldiers, but they've survived everything thrown at them. But this squad over here, not so fortunate. The Sun Cannon is fired over here with Guide, landed just about 3 times. We've caused
5 wounds.
5 wounds. They're going to ground, saving on 60s. Look at that. They almost did it. 2 survive, 3 dead, but that's all that's left in that unit. So we've dispatched the Grav Cannons. Right, now that the Sun Cannon's fired, we've battle focused these Guardians 6 inches with this formation, automatic 6. We're going to hose down this squad here. We're going to try and take out as many Devastators as we can this turn. Decent shooting for the shooting catapults. We've already killed one with a Bright Lance, and there's 4 wounds to save.
Yep.
And they're all saved, but we did kill one with a Blade Storm result, so we've killed 1 with some catapults. Right, Eldrad's invisible unit, we've done a battle focus, so we've moved forward 6, and we're going to try and pepper this other squad of multi-melters on this structure here, so we'll get cover saves. Alright, so okay, shooting the Bright Lance is saved from the cover, and then there's 5 wounds dealt out. The 2 of them are Blade Storm, so red ones are the cover saves, blue are the armor saves, so only 1 dies. It's pretty disappointing. And the Serpent's Bright Lance fires at a drop pod and doesn't do any damage, only rolls a 2. Not high enough. So I think that's all the shooting the Eldar have in the bag. It could have been better. We're not going to be able to do any assaults from the Guardians. They just got out of their transport. So morale check to do for these Devastators here, and then it's on to the assault phase. Right, so they pass their morale check, and then it's on to assault. So we're going to have the Banshees Going to charge this unit of grav cannons, but they do not get to Overwatch because we are Howling Banshees. So the charge range is a 7, but we're +3 to that because we're git fast. Alright, so charges have been made. Banshees are easily in there. No Overwatch has to be taken. And then the Avatar moves in on the Assault Squad. So he's going to shut this right down. No exceptions. Right, Avatar, we're going to allow him to strike first. So he's in a challenge with the Sergeant. We're going to see if we can just stomp on him with our Hammer of Wrath. So there's a wound he has to save on his armour. So that's a save. It's pretty good from the Sergeant. He can take a kick to the chest. So we've got 7 attacks with the Avatar. He's got Rage. Okay, we're seeing better rolls, but you know, that's pretty good. 4. That's all he needs. He's going to be efficient. There's only 4 of them left, so 2s. Oh, it's not very good. Well, killed 2 of them, and it's now the Dire Avengers to strike. Alright, so no damage from the Dire Avengers, but the Ultramarines strike back and hit once, so it needs to save on a 4. We've lost a Dire Avenger. So we still win that combat, but only just, and the Ultramarines are going to have to see if they fall back. So they're down by 1 in the combat, and only 1.
Let's hope.
So we've lost the Sergeant. 8 is bad. So we're going to see if we lock them in. So the Avatar, he's initiative 10 actually. There's no way you're going to beat him. Right, next combat we're going to go for the Banshees. So the Exarch, she's got 2 attacks and 2 for charging because she's within proximity of the Avatar. So she's hitting on 3. Okay, so only 2 hits. And she's got Furious Charge as well, so wounds on 3. And there's 2 Ultramarines
slain
with the head lopped off, and then we've got loads of attacks from the Banshees here. Alright, those Ultramarines just can't weather that storm. There's 20 attacks hitting on 3s because of the enhanced weapon skill, and wounding on 4s because of their Furious Charge given from the Avatar to them. So it's a whirlwind of Power Sword death there. Easy kills, totally wiped out. Let's see how far they consolidate. 3 inches. Right, so the Banshees just try and get round the corner there, not too far. And that is the end of Eldar's turn. So only needed objective 6 in that one, but it's right in the distance there. So that's just going to have to come in time. And that's it. So not shooting the Wraith Knight with those grav cannons might have actually worked out for the best. Because the small arms retaliation hasn't been too devastating. There's still 3 Marines there and then a full, well, just about a full squad in that structure. And just to put that in perspective, the Wraith Knight only took out 3 Marines that turn. He took out the 2 grav cannons even, with his sun cannon, but other than that, his retaliation wasn't that mean. So Ultramarines are still at 1 point, it's 3-0, but suffered from pretty nasty counter-attack. Right, Ultramarines turn 2 and the relief force is coming to town. The Rhinos are pulling up, taking out all of the tacticals inside, so they're going to put on fire on the Guardians and the Banshees. Really doesn't like those Banshees after what they've just dealt out, so they're going going down. It looks like a lot of bolters trained on them. Tactical Doctrine is in play this turn, very nasty. The assault troops, they jumped 12 and they've ran, so they're just lurking on the other side of that wall there. The Guardians are going to have to do something about that. Again, in the backfield, more trusty tacticals, keeping all of these objectives locked down. And this Rhino's just moving on a bit, spitting out 5 more tacticals. Going to look to try and test this Wave Serpent in the back. Do have hollow fields, so get a 5+ invulnerable even if we don't jink, but given the amount of 6s that's being rolled, we do not trust ourselves. Terminators right on the scene, using the teleport. The locator beacons from the drop pods just arrive right on target. So they're looking to take on some Guardians. Surviving tacticals, they're going to do the same. And we're going to suffer quite a few casualties here, I think, especially on this squad. There's a lot of fire, and the Ultramarines are back again, so it's another wave of blue power armour. Right, Ultramarines are calling in danger close, and the drop pods fire the Deathwind launchers, so it lands there, but it's actually the weapons platform who takes the hits and saves them all, luckily. This one, quite a different situation. Fires at the same place, scatters all the way back 5 inches, kills 2 Marines under the blast, and the Guardian saves, so that was very, very embarrassing. It's going to have to check the AI on that machine. The Tech Marines probably didn't see enough lessons, so he's going to have to take a morale check at the end of the shooting phase. Embarrassing indeed. This Guardian squad, not so lucky this time, have to go to ground. We'll lose 4 Guardians through bolt gun fire through this channel here. Just gotten out of the Rhino with the Tactical Doctrine in play. Bolt guns against toughness 3 are severe. So we did get some saves though, but not enough. So they've gone to ground. They're going to be under the cosh and going to have to take a morale test at the end of this. Alright, so with all the catastrophic damage to the Guardians, the Terminators have decided to shoot at the Venoms here. So the missile launcher fires first, and we have elected to jink because we don't really have much of a good cover save from there. So 2 hits and 2 pens have come through from that missile launcher. We're going to have to save on 4s. So first one saved, second one goes through. So it doesn't explode, but the damage is enough for this one. This one already took a hull point earlier, so that one's out of action now. And then there's a lot of storm bolters to fire that are strong enough to hurt this. Right, storm bolters fire through, and just 1 6. So I have to save this on a 4. No, it's a hull point. These are coming into some right stick here, these 2 Vipers. 1 left with 1 hull point. Right, I've got more bolt guns here. One of the combat squads has opened up fire onto the Banshees. 7 wounds to save. Oh, that's really good. 1 dies. Incredible. Right, the other combat squad now fires, rapid fires, and 5 wounds on the Banshees now. Hopefully we can roll like that again. No, right, so we've got 3 dead. So it's going to be these 2, and we'll do a lookout, or lookout misses on the exarch. No, so she's going to take a wound. Right, the Exarch's not out of the fire yet. There's a Stormbolter on the Rhino. He's hit once and wounded once. Going to do a lookout miss. Doesn't work, so we're going to have to save on the armour. Oh, she's gone. And she does save.
Wow.
What a hero. Right, pistols are done from the Devastator squad who moved. They're looking to charge if they don't kill her. Right, and two pistols hit, 2 wound. We're going to have to do 2 lookout misses on her. Alright, she's done 1. So let's do the armour save for the lookout, sir. No, this Banshee's gone. And the Exarch, will she live on? No, she's dead. That's a 3. Wow. Oh, poor Banshees. Right, this squad here are going to fire into the Wave Serpent. We're not going to jink. They fired the Flamer, no damage, but the crack grenade has caused a penetrating hit. We're going to have to save this on the hollow field of 5. No, that goes through. It's a penetrating hit. What's the damage? Should have jinked. 5. That's going to be a weapon destroyed, so that's just way above its station. So 1, 2, 3. It's the Bright Lance. It's the Bright Lance gone. Right, more damage. The bolters from the tactical squad causes a glance. If we don't save it, it does. So it's the last hull point, and there's a storm bolter from the Rhino. So let's see if it hits. Gets 2 hits, 6s to glance. 1 glance to just keep on getting it. 5s or we're gone. Actually, tell you what we'll jinx, since we've got the last hull point left. We'll do a gun down. I'm not sure I did that sooner, but we did it pretty fast. So jinking on a 4. No, it's just unlucky. Absolutely ridiculous luck from the Ultramarines there. 6s, just nothing but 6s. So that's knocked out now. That's a shame. We're going to use that to get into the field and take some objectives, so that is gone. Alright, so that's the end of the Ultramarine shooting phase. Done morale checks. This Guardian squad falls off the end of the earth. Failed the morale, dropped back too far. This Devastator Sergeant, he survives his check, so he stays strong. His hand up, going away.
Hey.
And so that is just the story. Just more support vehicles for the Eldar, just getting taken out left, right and centre with these small arm shots. Just couldn't go any better for them. But we will get our revenge now. It's the combat over here. No mercy. Alright, done the combat then. The Avatar easily slays those last 2 Assault Marines and he consolidates on into the Die Avengers. So Eldar are killing things, but the Ultramarines are killing things and getting points. So claimed a point for the central objective with that Rhino. Another one with this squad here, they're just running away with it seems. And psychological warfare for that unit dropping off the table. So another 3 points to the Ultramarines. So it's not going well for the Eldar for points. Going to have to see what comes their way in this next turn. At Craftworld, Ulthwe is trying to put up the best fight as we can. Moving in position now, the Wraith Knight steps to the side a little bit. He's got his sun cannon trained on these freshly arrived Terminators. All the Guardians are now going to shift around to the right here and need to deal with all of this power armoured force here. Just we've pulled objective 5, which is right here with our artillery, so we've got 1 point, so that's great so far. And just reshuffling with the skimmers in the back. We've got the Viper just pulling round, keeping its nose clean. It's still jinking. It's not going to be able to fire its weapons that effectively. And the Wave Serpent's going to try and select a target. Over here, the Guardians, they've moved, even included a battle focus. We're going to fire over the wall at those assault troops. So the other thing that happened is the psychic phase. So Eldrad, he gives his own squad. We failed invisibility, but we did psychic shriek on this Devastator squad that was here. Got 15 on the roll, and that just wipes them all out. So Eldrad just fries their brain. So that was pretty cool. And the other Farseer, he does flashbane hits on this Terminator and he survives them all, but of course puts guide on the Wraith Knight, so that's the big thing. And on his own unit, since we failed invisibility, we've got fortune on ourselves, so we're going to re-roll failed armour saves, doing everything we can to keep Eldrad safe and sound. Okay, so we're going to retaliate with the Wraith Knight. So he's put in his blast templates, the sun cannon, on these Terminators here. So 3 times with guide, pretty much dead on target. So we've got a whopping 17 wounds to try and convert. So these are strength 6. So we're looking out for 1s as duds. Only 3 1s in there. That's going to be horrendous amount of saves for the Terminators. These are all dash 3 on invulnerable 5s. 14 saves to make for these Terminators. So we're going to do them 2 at a time because there's 2 Terminators before it gets to the chaplain. So here we go. 5s needed. So the sergeant's dead. And then 1 at a time now. So another 12 to go. Alright, there's the guy dead behind him. So you're going to try and look out, sir, these all for the chaplain?
No.
No, alright, so 4s for the chaplain. Saves. Okay, he takes a wound. Saves. Saves again. Saves again. That Rosarius is really powering through, and he's dead. Right, so
the light went out.
Right, 5 wounds left, and we're going to have to be saved on 5s for these remaining Terminators.
Do it!
No,
far from it.
Not a sausage. Total wipe on these Terminators. Not to worry, they get 2 wounds soon. So Slaughter. Okay, we've done some more shooting. After the death of the Terminators, that is Warlord kill for the Chaplain. He was the Warlord, so he's dead now. So that's 2 points this turn, surely. And the Dire Avengers shoot into this guy. Saves. So does the Snapfire and Viper, and he saves all those too. And then so does the crew for the guns, shoots at him, and he survives again. So he's just totally blessed, that guy. The Banshee fires a pistol through there, no damage. And different situation here. All of Eldrad's units just obliterate the combat squad who were there. They're just totally wiped out. And the Avatar gives this used to be 5-man squad until the Whale and Doom saw one just perish. So we're going to do these Guardians at the wall. I'm going to fire over onto the assault squad. Right, the Guardians on the wall, not all of them could see, but the ones who could cause maximum damage. There's 4 dead there. There's still the Flamer left. He's lethal even by himself, especially given the fact that we're all bunched up like that, but he survived. He's going to have to take a morale check. And then the Wave Serpent here fires a Bright Lance shot at the far drop pod, and again only rolls a 2, so it's not going well for the Bright Lancers. Just can't really do any damage with them. And just in case anyone asks, the Knight, he already dedicated his scatter lasers to the Terminators, but they already died, so he doesn't have to fire a shot. The Sun Cannon was more than enough. So that is it. There's still some charges to do. We've got the Avatar, he's going to go in on this 4-man unit here, and then we've got a lone solo Banshee who's just going to try and do our best against this squad here. Right, the Avatar goes into that fight unharmed. Overwatch does not do anything. He even throws a crack grenade, doesn't find the mark. But before that happened, fortune favours the Eldar here. This lonely jump pack, he fails his morale and jumps back 10. So he will rally in the end of the, well, at the start of the Ultramarines turn, but it's crucial because even if he jumps 12, he's not going to get that angle that he wanted on the Flamer. So that was pretty lucky from the Eldar there. And the Avatar, being where he is, he still is within 12 of this Banshee, so she's going to get Furious Charge and Rage as well. So it's all going to plan somehow. So the Avatar is going to do a Hammer Wrath, and he's failed it right. So he's got 7 attacks against these Marines. And, okay, he's not doing very well on these hits, this Avatar. 2's to kill. Right, it is a wipeout, there's only 4 left, so he's efficient, we'll say that. Right, so the Banshee's going to attack first, and she's got 4 attacks with Rage. And we're going to assault in these Dire Avengers into him, just after this combat. So she's got 4 attacks, she's sitting on 3 because of the enhanced weapon skill. That's very good from her. Alright, now, on 4, she's just got Furious Charge. Now she's got 2 Marines, those to survive. There's a sergeant in there, he's got 2 attacks. Still another 2 Marines, and there's 4 attacks coming her way. And he's congested corridor, the Space Marines can't fight as well as they want to. Only 1 hit, 1 wound, so she's got to save on 4. What she does, she is going to save the Avatar. There's 2 grabs, a combi grab and a grab gun in there. What she's done is save the Avatar's bit for sure. We're going to charge these Dire Avengers into this combat here, see if they can mount to a legend. Right, Dire Avengers are in Warhammer on the Overwatch now. They've done some significant damage here, 2 wounds. This Sergeant is a bit of a legend. He's going to need to save on 3s for his legend to continue. So if you want to do that. He's dead. He's finally dead. Right, so that's the Eldar phase over. And this is what it looks like after consolidation. So the Avatar just goes a little bit. The Banshee's still wrapped up in combat, and the Dire Avengers, they go 6, so they're just trying to get to an objective eventually. They'll come into some border fire, but we need to make our way into the board here. Try and get some points. Got 2 in that round, 1 for that objective, the artillery piece holding that, and Warlord kill. So both sides just kicking the living daylights out of each other. Mass casualties everywhere. turn 3 to the Ultramarines, and the orders have come through for this turn. 5 orders they've been able to generate because they're just dominating the board for tactical objectives. They've got pretty much all of them. Well, they definitely do have them all now, since this Rhino's pulled around the avatar. He's moved all the way around here, and since he's got objective secured, he's just snatched that from the Eldar line. So the Eldar will not be able to generate next turn, so we're just fading away on the points here. What's his name? This Assault Marine, he's jumped back 12. He's auto-rallied because of Initial Know No Fear, and he's going to put that flamer to good use across the top of that building there, so it's going to be nasty. And although the squad can't do anything, it's still going to fight, probably kill that Banshee. I imagine it's easy pickings now, it's just not on the charge. And the Rhinos turned round to try and polish off these Dire Avengers, and then we've got shots from here. And then the 5-man squad that took out the Wave Serpent, they've dove back into the Rhino. The Rhino's reversed, and everyone's going to fire some shots at the hatch again at the Dire Avengers. And there's some more Marines that add bolt of fire in the distance to the Dire Avengers, so they've really upset the Ultramarines just by daring to move close to the centre of the board. So it's going to be more bolt of fire, more flames. The Eldar just getting pushed back again and again. To the flamer, he's flamed 7 but only got 5 wounds, and the gun platform is the closest, so we're going to save on the armour save of 3 for this platform. No, straight away that goes down, and then 4 Guardians are dead as well. Ultramarines starting to run out of firepower now. They're taking heavy casualties but still getting those objectives, so these aren't going to have to take morale check because they're within 12 of the avatar, making them fearless. And then all the drop pods fire at targets and don't do any damage. They fire at this artillery piece but don't damage it. But this is a different situation. All these bolters in this area that we spoke about, in the distance, on the Rhinos, these over here, and on that Rhino, surprisingly doing not great results, but they've got 5 wounds in total of all our bolt of fire on these Dire Avengers. So we're going to see if these can stay alive. Almost, but not quite. So those 2 Dire Avengers are gone now. Anyone who's trying to advance gets put down swiftly. Alright, assault phase for the Ultramarines. This jump pack tries to make it in on the Guardians and he gets shot down in the Overwatch for his trouble. Blade Storm right through the eyeball. And so now we're going to move on to the Banshee against these 3 Ultramarines. So she strikes first, hitting on 3s. She's got them both. And she's needing 5s this time. She's not on the charge. Nothing. Close, but no cigar. They're going to attack back, so they've got 4 attacks. 1 hit. Just 1. There's 1 wound, that's a 5. Need to save on a 4. And she does.
Oh, what a heroine.
As hard as nails. Alright, so not a very damaging turn from the Ultramarines, but like we said, they're going to pick up a ridiculous amount of points. They've scored all of the points that they needed to, or that they even could. So there's 5, and then scored 3 for the D3 for Ascendancy because they're just holding everything but the kitchen sink. So the Ultramarines are just disappearing into the sunset with all these points. There's another 8 to the already 6 points. So it's just leaving the station here. Well, it's not even leaving the station, it's left the station and it's almost arrived at its destination. The Eldar haven't even come off the starting blocks yet, so I think just out of spite we're just going to have to try and kill as many Ultramarines as we can here, just out of how can we go so far behind with these stupid Monkey. Right, we're into Eldar's turn now. We've done all the moving and the mission is quite simple now. It's not about the points, it's about destroying the Ultramarines utterly and thoroughly, because that is surely the only way we're going to win the day here. So there's a squad inside this Rhino, there's a combat squad there, 1 combat squad in the distance, this Rhino, and then 3 drop pods to try and take out before the game ends. So that is the mission for the Eldar. And we're setting out to do it. So we're trying to take out this Rhino in the backfield. We've got a few guns trained on it. Hopefully we can take it out with one of these vehicles and then the other can move flat out. But we're just putting in some insurance there. Eldrad and his Guardians move on. We've put invisibility on the avatar just in case he gets shot by a grav. guns in the next turn, so he's invisible. Eldrad did take a wound, but we used the Ghost Helm to block any damage from that, so he came close. And we've got Guide on the Wraith Knight, as usual. It's the way to go. These Guardians move down from the top. They're going to do a battle focus run, and the Avatar's already ran around the drop pod. He's done a battle focus, and we're going to shoot him. So we're going to try and take out this drop pod with Eldrad's unit, this Rhino with the Skimmers. We're banking on the Avatar to use his Will and Doom and try and take out this Rhino, and then the Wraith Knight will pick up some slack. I don't know what we're going to do with him just yet, but we'll come to that in the shooting phase. Right, time is running out for the Eldar. We needed that to be a good shooting phase, and it's turned out to be the opposite. So it took both vehicles to wreck this Rhino, but at least we wrecked it. And Eldrad and Singing Spears fired into this drop pod, only did 2 hull points. And then the Avatar only did 1 hull point with the Will and Doom on this Rhino, but it's free to go, as are most things. The Wraith Knight fired 1 scatter laser at this drop pod, and then the rest of his weapons went towards this unit here. So we killed 4 of them, and then rolled absolutely woefully for the scatter laser, even with Guide on it, and the last guy still remains. So he's still on the objective unless he falls back, but he's still there. So it's another turn of shooting. We're going to have to commit to him from something, and time is running out. So we've still got some charges to do. The Wraith Knight's going to charge this drop pod, and the Avatar can't charge because he did run. But Eldrad and his unit, they're going to have to charge this drop pod and try and take it down with the Singing Spear, with the Flesh Bin, Armour Bin rule, sorry. And actually we forgot to fire the artillery, so I'll fire that and see what happens. Right, the Volsrath battery from all the way in the distance puts a shot, artillery shot, on this guy, gets a direct hit and will wound. So he's going to have to save on a 3, or else that squad's gone, and he's dead. Lovely stuff. Oh, thankfully we remembered that Volsrath, so that's a bit of pressure off there. Ultramarines are not going to be able to score that objective for next turn. Nothing short of a miracle to get the Eldar back in the game. So each death counts here. Right, so into charge phases, the Knight goes in, just easily wrecks the drop pod, doesn't explode luckily. We've still got the Banshee to fight underneath him there. And Eldrad and his unit fill the charge, even with fleet. We'll roll a 4-inch charge, and then we'll roll a 3-inch charge. So really not helpful there, Eldrad. Don't know what you're playing at.
Oh man.
So we've got the Banshee to fight, still got 2 attacks. Hitting on 3, so she's got 1 hit, needing a 5. And she kills a Marine. That's really good work from her. There's only two Marines left now. There's 3 attacks. Hit twice. 1 wound. Can she save again? It's nothing short of a miracle. She does, and she does. Right, so she is holding this all together. I wish Eldrad would take note from that and get in that combat himself. So that combat continues. In fact, they've lost the combat. Let's see if they drop out, because that could be beneficial for Space Marines. So they're not going to do it. That's a 6, so they're going to hang around. So no points for the Eldar in that turn. Ultramarines, this is turn 4 now, and they're starting to get the orders to pull back, just try and preserve life. So the Marines are fanning out, they're scared of that sun cannon now. It's done some decent damage in this game. So they're staying in the cover, staying on the objectives just to get some more points. I think this is the final turn, they're going to hang around. The Rhino drops back to this objective and tries to hide itself. These staying bravely on this objective just before they're going to get the order to pull back. And this Rhino is just leaving the scene just a little bit, so there's not a lot to shoot left. They've still got this drop pod left alive. This one's had its stone bolter blown off, but it's got on its last hull point. So the Ultramarines still going to mount some sort of defence, some sort of tactical retreat. So just a few things to fight, very few things. Right, a very, very short turn for the Ultramarines there. Just bolters fire from this unit here and the Rhino at the Avatar, but he's invisible, so it just doesn't get any hits. So that's the end of the Ultramarines' turn. Very, very short. But now we've got the fight. This Immortal Banshee is going to take on these two Marines. So again, hitting on 3, she gets 1 hit this time. 5's to wound. No, she doesn't quite manage it this time. She might be getting tired. Ultramarines hit once. Wound once. It's always this one armor save to be made. Can she do it again? No, she's dead. She's finally dead. I can't begrudge her that. She's fought hard and she's fought well. The victorious Ultramarine duo start climbing the cover. They get a 5-inch consolidation, so they're trying to just dig down, keep the nose clean, try and survive this battle. I don't fancy the chances of the only unit that's deep in the heart of the Craftworld Ulthwe lines. Right, so although the Ultramarines did very little in that turn, didn't shoot anything or hardly shot anything, and killed 1 Banshee in that turn, they're still coming away with 4 points. Rolled another D3 for supremacy and got no mercy, no respite, which is basically kill a unit. So they don't have to do a lot to earn these points, the Ultramarines. They're just getting gifted points left, right and centre. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Didn't even do anything and we got 4 points.
Tactical geniuses.
Right, the Eldar surging forward, the game of cat and mouse begins. So the remaining Guardians who are on the roof, they go back into the Wave Serpent. The Wave Serpent's moved 12, so it's got a view to a kill. Those Marines hiding behind the pipes. Eldrad and the unit of Guardians are going to have another crack at this drop pod. Should have done it last turn, but here we go again. And the Wraith Knight, he steps forward. He's going to do this, pretty much one of the same things he did the last time, just some scatter laser at a drop pod, but then the rest of the fire is going to go deep into the Ultramarine lines. And this Viper's come forward. He's going to try and shoot at these Marines if all else fails. Avatar, he strides forward over the pipe and he's going to attack this Rhino. So we've already done the Psychic phase. We've got Guide on the Wraith Knight again, as usual, just textbook stuff there. And most importantly, we've got Eldrad. He's on this unit. He's performed Terrify, so they've got a -1 to their leadership, and we've passed on Psychic Shriek as well. So these are going to have to take a leadership test on 3d6 with a -1. So they're on a 9 going down to 8. So that is a horrendous roll. It couldn't get any worse. And well, it could if that was a 6, but just two Marines, it's always the same. A complete overspill on 2 Marines, so they're wiped out, which is pretty good. It means this Viper's going to get to move flat out because he doesn't have anything to hang around for. Okay, so the Eldar have had their shooting phase and it's been pretty good this time. The Wave Serpent wasn't very good, rolled exclusively 1s and 2s, didn't do any damage to the Space Marine combat squad here. The Avatar, different situation, he sends forth the Wailing Doom and immobilises that Rhino, so that's a really good result. It's probably the best one we would get because he's going to stay there, that Rhino, he can't get away now. And because we can charge it, it's going to allow us just to move into the board just a little bit. Anyway, that's providing he doesn't fail his charge, but I'm going to trust him. The Wraith Knight goes above and beyond to make this happen. He's fired his guns into the drop pod, no damage, but Sun Cannon takes out 2 Ultramarines on the far side there, and they have to go to ground, so they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And then Eldrad must have spent all of his time putting Psychic Shriek on that unit that was on the Void Shield, and all these were looking in awe because none of them hit this drop pod. It took a rear shot, this scatter laser coming from behind on the Wraith Knight at that drop pod to skim off that last hull point, so just could not trust them to do it in the assault. So the Wraith Knight making it happen. Alright, and now all these other units get to move out. Well, the Viper does anyway. This Falls Wrath, he fires a shot over to this unit pinned, but scatters wildly. But the Viper, he gets to now go flat out right over here because they went aground. Going to be on snap fire. We are now our last hull point with this Viper, so we didn't really want a chance getting shot with bolt guns because he's been doing pretty well with that. So we feel now that they've went to ground, the opportunity is there. We're going to try and sweep round and sweep these Ultramarines up. We feel like we're close to doing what we need to do here. So the Wraith Knight is going to make a charge on this drop pod since we targeted it with one of the scatter lasers, and the Avatar is going to stride in on that Rhino. So we're going to see what we get here. Avatar needs a 7-inch charge to get to that Rhino. It's crucial. And he makes it. He makes it. Flying colours. Good lad. And then this Wraith Knight just needs a 2. Formality. There he is. He's in. So combat. Go again. Alright, no surprise here then. The Wraith Knight just easily stomps on this drop pod, sees it off, and the Avatar does the same. He follows suit. So this duo just wrecking all these blue vehicles everywhere they can. So in that turn, it's past points at this stage, but we did get overwhelming firepower, so there's another point. But really, what this means for the Ultramarines is the pressure is on. So all of the Ultramarines vehicles and units have been destroyed that come down in the Vanguard strike. But we've just got 3 Marines here, this Rhino hanging on, and then a combat squad there. That's all the Eldar have to do to win this game. Ultramarines need to hang on, or it's a landslide victory to them via points. Right, the orders have come through for the Ultramarines. This time it's definitely dropped back. Just like Ronnie Wood said, all you got to do is survive. So these have pulled back, they've even ran, got a good run. 5 inches they've pulled back. They've given up that objective, no longer is point an issue. And this Rhino's moving just to get some more cover. It's looking nervous, he's just trying to dart back through the pipes and stuff. And then we've got one shot, the most crucial shot to be made. It's gone to the ground. He's going to try and hit this Viper on a 6. So unbelievable, right? I'm not jigging because he was supposed to be hitting on a 6. Now he's got to try and glance it on a 6. If he gets it, then it's gone. It's just down. Oh, right. Some relief. Right, Eldar turn 5. This could be the final turn. It could be. It might go on. So hopefully it does, because I don't think we're going to get it done in this turn. So everyone comes forward who can. So the Wraith Knight jumps over the top, since he's a jump creature. And he's going to select the Rhino as target for the Sun Cannon, and then possibly a Scatter Laser, and then we're going to do Scatter Laser at these Marines as well. The Viper, the opportunistic Vipers, come around the side to get some clean shots as well. Try and pick up the pieces. We'll probably drop the artillery piece from right back there at any survivors, just in case. And the Avatar moves forward through the Rhino, and he's done his battle focus as well. So with this detachment you automatically go 6, so that's why the Eldar are just so fast here. And he's not going to be able to charge because he's ran, but we're going to do Will and Doom Shot at these Marines, see what we can do. This Wave Serpents move flat out. This has still got 7 Guardians in. We're going to score that objective. We've had that since turn 1, so it's just a bit of indication there. And Eldrad and his unit there just pull forward just a bit. So we've done Guide, if I didn't mention it, on the Wraith Knight, of course. Right, we'll open up the shooting phase with the Wraith Knight. So he's fired a Scatter Laser down at this unit and kills the Sergeant, fails a lookout, so they're leaderless now and going to be at the mercy of this Viper. And we'll fire another Scatter Laser at this Rhino. Of course, the hull point failed his cover save, and we've hit with 2 Sun Cannon blasts, so strength 6 AP 2 could be damaging. We've got 1 penetration, and the Rhino needs to save on a 4.
Please.
No, that goes through. Because it's AP2, this could be catastrophic on a 6. Come on. Oh, we'll roll yet another 1 for damage. So he's going to be snap firing, which is, I suppose it's okay news for that Viper if the game continues, but it's just hanging on. Right, because it's getting pretty crucial, we're going to roll this Viper as well. It's got full shots. This has got the double shuriken cannons on at this unit here. Come on, he hasn't been doing very well this whole game. Now is his time to shine. No. It still could be done, but that didn't fill us with confidence. Choose to wound. Oh my god. So one pesky tactical hangs on.
It's a morale check then.
And he passes on a 7, he's going to hold. What a brave a start he is. Right, well, Will take his life. We've just realised we've got the Falls Wrath battery in the backfield. He's going to send a shot over the top, right in his head. Here we go, he's a direct hit. No, it's 8 inches away, won't get anybody. Right, on this side of the battlefield, this Bright Lance fires, doesn't cause any damage. This moved flat out, so it can't fire, but we're going to get a victory point for that. The Avatar gives these the Will and Doom and kills 1. So, of course, we didn't think we would get it done that turn. And again, it's another game where it all comes down to a dice roll. So we've got one Marine standing here, this Rhino left on 1 hull point, and this 4-man team here of Marines. If the game continues, surely it should be the Eldars win, and if the game ends, it's a massive victory for the Ultramarines. So, on 3+, the game continues. Come on.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Way.
Right, so that's the end of the game. Just tragedy right before the Eldar's eyes. I suppose it's fitting for the Eldar, just tragedy. And we do pick up 5 points in that turn though, but it's nowhere near enough to come back from such mammoth points that the Ultramarines pulled in. So we've got behind enemy lines, we've got 3 units in the board edge criteria, 12. So we've got D3 for that, we've got the full 3, we've got secure objective 6 for this one, and of course because it's the end of the game we've got line breaker, so 5 points. So it was 19 points to 9 for the Ultramarines, so they just hang on with just the bare minimum unit, and I'm told this is how the Ultramarines feel about the situation. Alright, so we're going to do man of the match honours. So, I mean, the obvious choice would be the Wraith Knight, but I'm going to give it to the Avatar because he gave that bubble of fearless to all of the army when he was down, right in the deployment when it mattered, when we come under such pressure. He kept everyone in line and given the Banshees Furious Charge and Rage. It's really helped out, so he gets man of the match because he contributed army-wide and he had some personal glory as well.
So the rest might feel like Joe Launchbury, a bit left out.
Oh well, he'll be okay. He'll keep his chin up. And the Ultramarines are not going to have a man of the match because they just operated as a faceless corporation there. So there's no heroes. It was just a team effort.